And welcome back. Once again, adventurers, let's play Steins. In the last episode, we attempted to change the past again, this time by giving Daru some insights into Ferris's Rhinetter's strategy at the Rhinet Access Battlers card game for the Ferris Cup. Needless to say, it didn't work. Which leads us to believe that something more drastic is necessary to change the divergence of the world line. Though I'm still not quite sure how changing the lottery ticket was able to do that. Then again, winning the lottery is definitely far bigger on the scale than winning an underground Rhinetters tournament, but I'm rambling at this point. Meanwhile, Kurisu and Rintaro are still trying to figure out just what it is that is giving the phone wave TBA its unique time-traveling capabilities. An outside source of electrons. What could that be? That's what we're trying to find out.
私は帰るから。これ以上むさ苦しい男どもの巣にはいられないんで。
And Kurisu is going to trade the Future Gadget Laboratory for a hotel.
また明日。レポートをまとめといてね。
She has been staying here for a while at least, so and she is renting the hotel, but I don't think that Rintaro is going to write that report so quickly. In fact, I don't even know if he's going to bother at all. Kurisu flings off her lab coat and hurries up the door. She was serious about the report, judging by her tone of voice and the expression on her face. Yes, I would definitely say that's the case.
マキセ氏の着ていた白衣か。どれ?
You didn't wear it before, and now you want to wear it after Kurisu has. As Kurisu reaches for the lab coat to smell as Daru reaches for the lab coat to smell Kurisu's lingering fragrance, I grab him by the neck and pull down hard.
どれ? ではないバカが! そんなくだらないことをしている暇があったら、明日の実験でどう過去を改変するか考えておけ!
I think Kurisu's reaction would be far worse compared to this. Just saying, Daru. Meanwhile, the next day, Wednesday the 4th, there wasn't anything to do after Kurisu left. I tried operating the phone wave TBA a couple more times before I went to sleep, but the discharge phenomenon simply wouldn't occur. Now it's the next morning, and I'm sitting on the bench in front of the Brawn Tube workshop. It's still early, but it's already blazing hot. It's as if I'm baking in the sun. Sweat is dripping off my chin. Well, I suppose it is summer. Well, it is. What am I saying, I suppose? It is definitely summer. We're supposed to be experimenting today, but not a single lab mem has arrived yet. After waiting impatiently for a while, the first person I see is... insert drumroll here. Don't keep us in suspense. Sounds like a motorbike or something. Indeed it is. It's Tanuji and his moped. And he's got an eye with them.
おはようございます。おかりんおじさん。
It's still early in the morning, so nothing's really happening. Also, good morning, Madam Nai. The Tanuji pair come in riding in on a moped.
俺はおじさんではない。兄様と呼べ。
I believe I gave this reference in another video, but in case you don't want to call him Kiyoma, you can always call him Mr. Woden the Mighty.
お父さん、どうしよう。
岡部、
This is not good.
うちの娘に何をふざけたことを吹き込んでやがる。
教育がなっていないのではないですか、ミスター・ブラウン。その子が俺のことをおじさん呼ばわりするのを何とかしてください。
I don't think he's going to acquiesce to that.
器の小さい野郎だな。なえ、こんな野郎の言うこと聞かなくていいからな。
Thanks very much for that. The manager parks his moped quickly and enters the store. Nai is about to follow him when she turns her attention towards the end of the street and instantly brightens up. There's only one person that can brighten Nai's day. I follow her gaze and I see Mayuri walking this way. And a good morning to you, and apparently we're being bombarded by mail. It's from our erstwhile assistant. Have you written that report yet? For your information, I wasn't joking yesterday. If you blow this off, then you have no right to call yourself a scientist. Maybe this is too much for a freshman like you to understand, but writing papers is part of being a scientist. Now this is what we've actually been waiting for, this particular response right here. This mail, believe it or not, is very important. In fact, it is depending on how we reply, it is very crucial that we reply a certain way, because otherwise we won't be able to get true ending. This is the first flag, the first of 6. If we reply to report, we get let lesser men worry about such things. I have inventions to build and discoveries to make. I don't think I want to do that just yet. If I see my let me just check the notes that I've written down. Yes, I did have to use a guide in order to know the flags ahead of time, because I want to get true ending. If we reply to scientist, I'm not a mere scientist, I'm an insane, mad scientist. If we reply to understand, if you're so confident in your superiority, then show me your power. We could reply with report and get a completely different response, but the one we need to reply to, the one that is most important, we have to reply to the scientist quote. That is important. That is exceptionally important, and also depending on Kurisu's next few, because she's going to send quite a few replies, actually, I might add. And Nai runs up to Mayuri with a happy smile. And without breaking stride, she jumps into Mayuri's chest. Brace yourselves. They get along so well that you would think that they were sisters. Mayuri has the ability to get along with anyone, so it's no surprise. Nai avoids me and Daru, but she adores Mayuri and always goes in for a flying hug whenever she gets the chance. Daru sometimes complains about that. His internal debate went on for hours. We're just going to ignore that entirely. Apparently she has a gift for her. Mayuri takes some candy out of her convenience store bag and gives it to Nai. Normally they have a tendency to go doo-doo-doo in unison, which is somewhat hilarious, and scary sometimes. She offers me some candy which I silently accept. Because there's nothing going on inside. We're waiting for the whole gang to assemble. And Nai's accusing us of slacking off. Do you have to be so blunt? One of these days I'll teach you to respect me, and then Tanuji will bring the house down upon our heads.
しいことを考えてるんだよ。
Well, we can't really do anything until everyone's here, so,
ああ、そうなんだ。
and Naya's happy for some reason. Good job, Mayuri.
おかりおかり、この時間だと電話レンジちゃんはビリビリしないんだよね。
And, Mai does have a point.
じゃあね、焼きそばパンをチンしてもいいか
Indeed. Oh, wait. The, microwave door. We still have a problem with that.
温めるのは無理だ。
That is, very unfortunate.
な。そうだった。がっかりだよ。
Yeah, we probably need to, get another microwave at some point.
ちなみにね、おかりは朝ごはん食べた？
Don't think so.
だったら一緒に食べる？焼きそばパンは冷たいまま食べるとして、ラーメン缶なら湯煎で温められるし。
It is actually a, very good idea there, Mayuri. Do that while we wait for everyone else. And speaking of which, I believe we have a, reply from Kurisu. What do you mean, mad scientist? More like bad scientist, am I right? If we reply to mad... If you don't know what mad means in this context, I'll tell you. It's the insane definition. We, want to reply with, bad scientist in this case. We haven't got the first flag yet. We actually still have a way to go to actually getting the first flag of the true ending. That's more like a pun my grandpa would come up with. Sending mail. Mail sent. We're bound to get another reply from Kurisu at this
朝ごはん
point.
食べてきた。
But before we do, breakfast time with Mayuri. Nai waves and heads back inside the Brawn Tube workshop. Lured by the prospect of canned ramen, I go inside the lab with Mayuri. The stagnant air makes the room hotter than outside. It doesn't improve much even after we open the window and turn on the fan.
ダル君とクリスちゃん、まだ来ないのかな。
ああ、ラボメンとしての自覚が足りんな。
Just then, the sound of a braking bicycle comes from downstairs. 3 guesses as to who that is. We all know who that is. When I look out the window, I see Suzuha, the part-time warrior, arriving. She immediately notices me, looks up, and waves. And gives her customary greeting.
トゥットゥルー、すずさん。
And Mayuri, responds in kind.
好きなまゆり、トゥットゥルー。
What have you done? You've created a monster. They seem to have hit it off. Meanwhile, I get more emails from Kurisu. Like, you could do better. At least this one is the only one we have to respond to. Aren't Americans supposed to be funny? What have they been teaching you over there? I'm sure she's bound to tell us at some point. Like I said, Mayuri gets along with everyone.
岡部倫太郎、タイターはなんて？
さあな。
Yeah, about that. Didn't quite go as well as we planned. I thought I dodged the question, but Suzuha is persistent.
やる気ないな。聞いたんでしょ？
聞いたが、奴の言うことが正しいかわからなくなった。
Yeah, people tend to get a bit upset about the whole Messiah. Well, Rintaro is a bit upset about the whole Messiah thing.
どの辺が？
Why is she so flustered?
そうか。あのバイト選手名、タイターオタか。
That could very well be the case. I guess there's an otaku for everything.
ああ、クリスちゃんだ。
And Kurisu is here. Mayuri leans out the window to wave her hand. Kurisu is walking towards the lab. That reminds me, doesn't part-time warrior have something against Kurisu? Apparently she still does. I look at Suzuha. Her expression has changed dramatically. Prepare thyselves for another Mexican standoff. Now she's staring at Kurisu in complete silence. She doesn't move a muscle. It's like she's trying to start a fight with her glare. Kurisu's pretty stubborn too, so she meets Suzuha glare for glare. The two of them exchange a word or two in front of the building. For a second, I'm worried that they might start throwing punches, but that doesn't happen.
クリスちゃん、トゥットゥルー。
Good morning.
下のバイトと何を話していたんだ？
Kurisu shrugs her shoulders.
別に大したことは、言いたいことがあるならはっきり言えって。
At least nothing drastic came of this. I don't think that's nothing though. She's lucky that didn't lead to blows.
向こうは何と？
何も悔しそうにうなってるだけだった。一体何なのかしら。
牧瀬氏の人気に嫉妬してるに決まってるじゃん、上皇。
For such a big person, Daru, you actually do have the skills of a ninja sometimes. It didn't even hear you come in. Daru bursts into the lab.
本来なら私がラボメンナンバー004になって楽しくみんなと青春する予定だったのに悔しいみたいな。
I don't think that's what Suzuha is upset about.
3次元は恐ろしい。
ラボメンナンバーなんて好きなだけ譲るけど。
なんだと？ラボメンナンバーは某国において数千万円というレートで違法に取引されるほどの貴重な資格なのだぞ。
パスポートじゃあるまいし、そもそも某国ってどこだおい。
I have no response to that those final
みんな
words.
仲良くいられる方がね。マユシーはいいな。
Ah, Mayuri, ever the diplomat. Well, I don't really care about their little quarrel anyway. Only one thing interests me now. Now, not Mao. The mystery of D-Mao. There we go. Ah, more experimentation. We begin immediately. Even though it's still morning, the electrical discharge occurs on demand. Things look favourable today, that is, unless Tanuji storms up the stairs and pummels us. That reminds me, we haven't talked to Tanuji yet. Maybe we should come up with an excuse first. To be honest though, I don't care what he thinks. But we are at war. War against the organization and CERN, the dark powers that rule the world from the shadows.
安西先生、フェイディスタンの手料理が食べたいです。
Denied, Daru.
諦めたらそこで試合終了だよ。
I think it's game over already. Unfortunately, Daru's second D-Mao fails to change the past. I get the feeling that Rynet matches are difficult to cheat your way out of like this. Not to mention, we're limited to 36 bytes of text. Then we got another mail, this time from Suzuha. Akihabara is a strange town. Everywhere I look, I see drawings of cute girls. Some of them even have their breasts fully exposed, which startled me. Coming here is a real culture shock. It's amazing how peaceful Japan is. Anime moe culture. Unfortunately, it has become the symbol of Akihabara and the chaos that rules here. Get used to it. If we reply to culture shock, I can imagine how that would shock someone who isn't prepared. And as for peaceful, I agree. It's all because of the organization's efforts to stupefy Japan. We'll reply with the culture shock keyword. Mail sent. Looks like we have to give up on Daru. He's gone to drown his sorrows and the internet. So who do we experiment on now? From the look on Kurisu's face, I don't think she's willing to change her policy. That leaves only one candidate.
Mayuri よ。次はお前に過去を変えてもらおう。
まゆし変えてもいいの？でもね、過去を変えるって何を変えればいいのかな。
Well, you are the next lab member in line. Mayuri looks stumped as she slips her canned ramen.
それじゃあね、こういうのはどうかな。ルカ君にマユシーのコスを着てもらえるように過去を変えるの。
I don't think that's actually going to work.
ルカ君にメールを送るとかだよ。
I don't think that's going to change the past.
もっと簡単で分かりやすいものはないのか？
Something that you can change that will actually have an effect. She slips more
そ
ramen.
のラーメン
Well,
缶を使おう。
Looks like I'm the only one with
1時間
ideas.
前のマユリに D メールを送るのだ。今日はおでん缶が食べたいとな。
Suppose we could do that,
そ
even
ん
though
な
it's
誘導
rather
に乗るほど
silly.
単純なことじゃない気が。
And I was wondering when you'd show up, Kurisu. Apparently you've been in the lab all the time.
すごくいいかも。
え？
今日もね、自動販売機の前で10分くらい迷っちゃったんだよ。おでん缶にしようかな、ラーメン缶にしようかなって。
Well, maybe a trivial change, but it is something. That might actually work. It's crazy, but it
つま
might
り
work.
後押しがあれば、マユリは必然的におでん缶を食べたくなるというわけだな。
Then again, I
Hey,
might
Oscar.
not.
わかったじゃあ過去を変える前にラーメン全部食べとかないと。
So Mayuri wants to finish her food first, even though if we change the past, that will never have happened. Mayuri starts shoveling the ramen into her mouth.
食べておかないとどうなるの？
もったいないもん。
あ、そうね。
Waste not, want not. That is Mayuri's attitude when it comes to food. Kurisu clearly doesn't know what to say. Mayuri really is a ditz. I'm used to it by now, of course. It's an unfair thing to say, but not entirely incorrect. I get the PhoneWave TBA prepped for D-mail. The content of Mayuri's mail is simple enough. Canned odin, piping hot and delicious. I just hope it actually works. So, well, if it does, she'll have a canned odin instead of canned ramen. We wait for her to finish and then activate the PhoneWave TBA. To send it back 1 hour, we input one hashtag. In other words, we set it for 1 second. I wonder if the discharge phenomenon will occur in such a short span of time. That's something else we'll learn from the
電話レン
experiment.
ジカッコ仮起動。
あー、メールまだ送れてないよ。
That's true. There wasn't enough time to blink.
1秒じゃ放電現象は起きないか。データ通りだけど貴重な実証データが取れた。
Well, now we know. It has to be much longer, preferably an hour
それ
or
っ
so
て
for the
例
discharge to
え
build
ば
up.
事前に暖気みたいなことしたらどうなるん？
Good idea, but I don't
Donkey?
think it would work.
つまりさ、1秒じゃ放電現象は起きないわけっしょ。 だから事前にメールを送らずに30秒ぐらいレンジ動かしとくんだお。
I actually have to admit I didn't think of that, Daru.
その後間を置かずにタイマー1秒でもう一度動かす。そしたら1秒でも放電現象起きそうじゃね？
根拠は？
ネス。
Then again, that idea seems to have fallen rather flat.
マユリよ。もっ
Apologies,
と他に
Mayuri.
何かないのか。
じゃあ昨日買ったおにぎりの具を違うものにするとか。
Alas, Mayuri's simple ideas are a little bit too
お前
simple.
は昨日食べたおにぎりの具の種類を覚えているのか？
おかか。
即答？
Yes, she does. Very impressive, Mayuri.
だからね、おかかを明太子にしようよ。
Maybe we should find another test subject. That's probably a good idea. Something's telling me we're going to have to look outside the lab. I go for a walk to clear my head. After lunch at King Burger, I grab a coffee at Starbucks on the first floor of Yodobashi. I left Mayuri and the others at the lab. I need some time to get my thoughts in order. I recall what happened when I sent myself the lotto ticket. Numbers. The moment I sent that email, I felt a strong tremor, and then the world I knew it changed slightly. The fact that I had sent an email had been undone. I know that because it disappeared from my send history. However, it was in my inbox. The mail had definitely reached the past. What does this mean? The mail was received but never sent. Isn't that a time paradox? Is that the reason why everyone lost their memories? Why did that happen? The butterfly effect? That isn't an answer. Changing the past changed the world. Taito spoke of divergence. When divergence changes, are people's memories reconstructed to match the new world line? I think Taito pretty much said that word for word. Then how come I remember the previous world line even after the past changes? I also thought that you stopped believing in John Taito there, Rintaro. My deliberations are interrupted by an incoming mail. I don't have time for this. It's a mail, so I can just reply to it later. I concentrate on my coffee. However, all these mails. No doubt about it. It's gotta be Moeka Kiryu, the male demon known as Shining Finger. How can she be so shy in real life and so persistent in email? There's something wrong with that woman. Indeed, we've got those two mails were indeed from Moeka. Apparently, Moeka wants to send an email as well.
Nani?
And we did make her 005, so means she has a ticket into the experiment. Moeka seems serious, so she might meet my demands. Most importantly, all the other lab members are completely useless when it comes to emails. I still haven't been able to verify whether or not I can keep my memories if someone else changes the past.
いや、しかし。
I'm worried. Moeka works for an editorial company, Arc Rewrite. In other words, she's related to the media. What if she sends a email and leaks word of the time machine? We'd be flooded by press. Gone would be the days of lurking in the shadows. My location would be exposed to the organization. Of course, sooner or later we're going to have to announce our findings to the world. But in that case, I'd rather choose a national newspaper or TV network to cover the event rather than some shady magazine. That way it would spread even faster throughout Japan. nay, the world. Either way, something tells me it's better not to go public through Moeka. And speaking of which, Moeka is lab mem. And of course she knows about the phone wave TBA, obviously, which is why she's asking. It's necessary to buy her silence. Realizing I have no choice, no reason to deny her, I put my phone to my ear.
ああ、少しばかり迷っている。何？声でわかるだと？叶わないな。電話レンジカッコ仮の実験にシャイニングフィンガーを引き入れるかどうかについて。バカな！あの女を生贄に捧げろというのか。確かに世界に混沌をもたらすためなら犠牲はやむを得ない覚悟だが。
So apparently our mystery contact wants us to offer Moeka as a sacrifice. Rather ominous there.
むしろ迷っていた俺が情けない。マッドサイエンティスト失格かもしれんな。
Perhaps not if you're this timid.
ああ、これは俺にとってむしろ典型とも言える申し出。まさにシュタインズゲートの選択となるだろう。エルプサイコングルー。
And with that, farewell, mystery contact. It's decided. I type a reply to Moeka's email. Indeed, you are Lab Member 005 Shining Finger. Report to the lab at once. 3 seconds later, we're probably going to get a mail. Meanwhile, we head back to the lab. When I get back to the lab, Moeka is squatting at the bottom of the staircase. Since she's not sitting on the bench, I guess that crouching while holding her knees is this woman's particular favorite position. I read that wrong. She's staring at her phone like usual. Once she notices me approach, she slowly stands up. But she doesn't look at me. Well, now she does, and she speaks. And then goes back to her usual behavior. I know it's selfish, but I really need to send an email.
別にわがままとは思っていない。むしろお前の申し出にこちらが感謝しているほどだ。
Now we are all properly assembled. Once we enter the lab, I get all the mems to stop what they're doing and tell them about Moeka's situation.
いいと思います。萌香さんもラボ面だもんね。
And Mayuri seems pretty happy about Moeka being here. Daru and Kurisu don't object either, because she's the only one that has, well, we haven't actually asked what she's going to change.
俺からの要望としては、過去が変わったかどうか確かめることができるよう、シンプルで分かりやすい内容にしてもらいたい。
That is our only condition. Although Moeka once again seems fairly hesitant. And new mail. I'm sorry, there's one more thing. I want to keep my message secret. Why does she have to explain every little thing with a D-mail? With a mail? Also, that kind of hinders our progress. More importantly...
内緒だと？どういうことだ？
何？どうしたのよ？
Kurisu notices that something is somewhat odd about the situation. It's private. It would be embarrassing if everyone knew.
いや、そういう問題ではなかろう。
That's not the issue at hand here, Moeka. If we don't know what you're going to change, we don't know if the past will change. Kurisu peeks at my phone from beside me.
なるほど。気持ちはわからなくはないけど、これはあくまで実験だと割り切ってデータの収集を優先すべき。
Kurisu, I'm inclined to agree
珍し
with
く意
you.
見が一致したな上手よ
And apparently so does Rintaro.
別にあんたに同意したわけじゃない。データを収集しないと電話レンジの仕組みがいつまで経っても解明できないって思ったからよ。
Indeed, and we'll never figure out if the past has changed thanks to Moeka's D-mail.
でも
So we need to know the contents of that
女の子
message.
にはね秘密がいっぱいあるのです。誰にも言えない秘密をね自分だけに教えろゲヘヘって言ってるのと同じだよ。
The problem is, Mayuri, if she keeps this secret, the past may change even more radically than we
まさか
thought.
これってセクハラになるん？
And Daru's completely off the beaten
Daru.
track. I'm afraid we can't concede to this, Moeka. I turn to Mayuri and Moeka, who appear to have formed some kind of mainstream girl alliance.
メールの内容にプライベートに深く関わることを書けと強制した覚えはない
Kurisu nods firmly at my words. Looks like she doesn't intend to join this
私
alliance.
的な内容を送りたいにしても今はまだ見送るべき。タイムパラドックスの問題も完全に解決されたわけじゃないし、もっ
Yeah.
と慎重に慎重を重ねないと。
In this instance, we will have to try and avoid any
私的
paradox.
な内容は NG。少なく
That
と
is
も
correct.
非公開にしたいという話は受け入れられないわ。あなたに悪意がなくてもメールの内容次第で時間軸に深刻な影響をもたらすかもしれないんだから。
That is the main issue we have here. If it
第
does
三者に
change
メー
the
ルを見せ
past,
てその内容について問題ないか吟味すべきよ。
I suppose we can
うん
come to an
俺が言い
agreement
たい
on
ことは
that.
全てジョシュが言ってくれたそしてそうは言いつつも我らは実験を中止するつもりはない
The experiment must go on, as they say.
あんたの意見を代弁したわけじゃないから勘違いしないで。
Cheeky little.
そもそも実験においてはプライバシーよりもデータが優先される。被験者になるならその覚悟は必要よ。
Don't tell me that's the reason Kurisu won't send a D-mail herself.
そうなの？まゆしはねさっきそんな覚悟せずに送ろうとしてたよ。
We're not talking about sending something private. We're talking about a mail that will alter causality.
ねクリスちゃん
Oh, now Mayuri's upset.
別に謝らなくても責めてるわけじゃない。一般論を言っただけ。
I imagine some people might take issue with that statement, but I'll refrain saying anything. I'd rather not get my head chewed off right now. As tactless as Rintaro can be, Kurisu seems to be following suit. And we still haven't heard Moeka's reply. Her expression doesn't change. Same as always. I don't know what she's thinking.
お前はすでにラボメンだ俺たちを信用してもらわないと困るプライベートの要件は後日にしてもらおう
This is for
もしで
science
きないと
after
いうの
all.
ならばお前に見せてやらねばならなくなるこの俺法王院教魔の中に眠るまがまがしき狂気の力をな
That is, unless the terrible power of Kurisu Makase doesn't intervene first. Moeka was already typing on her phone. My threat was ineffective, it seems. Can I see the D-mails you've sent so far? I want to use them as a reference.
着信履歴ならあるぞ
Suppose we can
送信
do
履歴は
that. And the send
Night.
history.
というと語弊があるな送信履歴は消えてしまうのだ
Indeed. That's the thing about D-mails. Moeka was there after all, but she doesn't remember either. I don't need to see the history, and I'll show you the message before I send it. Is that okay? Looks like she understands. We showed the mail to Kurisu as well, so Moeka relaxes a little bit. That's fine.
無理しないでね。
Is that supposed to be encouragement? Mayuri sounds concerned for some reason.
じゃあさ、どんな内容を送るん？そもそもオカリンの言う簡単で分かりやすい過去改変ってハードル高すぎ。
I would actually say that that's a pretty average bar
何を
myself.
言う。お前たちのレベルが低すぎるだけではないか。
案はある。
Moeka murmurs.
おお、これは期待できそうだな。具体的に説明を頼む。
Moeka then invokes her power once more. Ultra fast typing, the power known as Shining Finger. About 4 days ago, I bought a new phone, but now that I tried it, I think I should have stayed with the old one. So I want to use a D-mail to tell myself not to buy a new phone. If we do that, the phone I'm holding will change, won't it?
シャイニングフィンガーは実に有能だな。まさにラボ面の鏡。
That would be a fairly obvious change, and the time frame seems to work, so that the electronic discharge will happen. This should make it easy to tell whether the past has changed. Looks like the three of us, like the three useless members, have no objections to Moeka's superior idea. It's not really that superior, to be honest, Rintaro. We look at Moeka's phone. It's purple and goldy. There's no strap, and it's not like the Deco phones popular among mainstream women nowadays. It's still a pretty retro-looking phone.
お、それって先月出たばっかの GG01 じゃん。
Apparently it's called the GG01. Fairly new.
01?
最新機種だよ。確か液晶部分が着脱式でいろんなバリエーションのアタッチメントを選べるんだよね。
So you can detach the screen.
今
That's
品
actually
薄
pretty
でどこ行っ
nifty.
ても入荷待ちだけどよく手に入ったな。
But the message that we saw, she wants to keep her previous phone, which is kind of interesting. It's the most popular model, but she wants her old one back. I guess hardcore phone users have other concerns besides fashion.
では、指圧し。
ねえねえ、どうして萌香さんのことを指圧師って呼ぶの？
それが
That's alluding to her
桐
power
生
of
萌香
shining.
の力に俺がつけた名だ。桐生萌香、お前は今後先行の指圧師、すなわちシャイニングフィンガーを名乗るがいい。
I don't think she's particularly happy with that moniker there. Moeka shakes her head expressionlessly.
嫌だというのか？能力名をつけてやったのに何が気に入らないというのだ。
萌香さんはね、萌香さんだからだよ。それにね、指圧師さんじゃなくて編集プロダクションで働いてて。
眉氏、ネタにマジレス、かこ悪い。
Yeah, feeding the trolls is bad.
Neta de
Although I
wa
think he's
nōryoku ne.
referring to Rintaro there.
くだらないこと言ってないで。準備するわよ。
You're just an assistant. Don't boss us around.
ブラウン店長に何か言われたらどうするん？
Well, actually, come to think about it, if we change the
ミス
past,
ター・ブラウンごとき恐れるな。奴が怒鳴り込んできたらこの俺が蹴散らしてやる。
I don't think anyone's going to buy that fake bravado there.
オカリンかっけー。そこにしびれる憧れる。
実は口だけだったりするんでしょ。
Indeed he is. I'll be the adult and ignore Kurisu's insult. Moeka has already written her email. When I look at Moeka to see if she's ready, she nods faintly. We set the timer to 100 seconds. The mail should arrive 4 days ago, July 31st. Time to activate the phone wave. And there's the electricity. About 15 seconds after activation, the discharge phenomenon occurs. Phone wave is a go. I glance at Moeka. She nods grimly, an unusual show of emotion. And then she presses the send button. See if this works. Apparently it has, because the divergence has shifted. The world twists into unrecognizable shapes. The floor is shaking. Or is it me? My vision blurs and loses colour. The world lurches. I struggle to keep my balance. As I brace myself against further shaking, I try to analyse what I'm experiencing. This is far more intense than what happened with the D-mails yesterday. And yet I've felt it before. I remember. This is what I felt right before the mass disappearance phenomenon. Indeed it is. The shaking stops. I relax my body and look around. Has the past changed? Well, I don't know. Well, of course it has, because the divergence has shifted. But we still need to talk about Moeka, and whether or not she's got a new phone. The bizarre sensation with just now was proof. I look around the room. The phone wave, TBA, which should have 90 seconds left on the timer, is silent. Daru's here, Mayuri's here, and Kurisu's here. Where is Moeka?
指圧師はどこに行ったの？
She was with us when we did the experiment. Daru and Kurisu, who are discussing something in front of the computer, look at me strangely. Again, this feeling of wrongness. It's the same as yesterday.
指圧師？
オカリン、
Oh
日
dear.
本語で OK。
Well, maybe it's just that they don't really know her, well, care much about her nickname. I leave the development room and check the lounge, behind the sofa, and the dressing room, the bathroom, and the shower room, and the window at the street below. But Moeka is nowhere to be found. She's gone. No way. This is exactly what happened on the streets of Akaba. Why did she disappear? Because I experimented on her? Where did she go? Did I erase her from history? Did we banish her into the space between dimensions? I start quivering in horror at the magnitude of my error. But, all we did was change the phone. They couldn't have erased her from existence. In a daze, I step up to Mayuri, who's eating a banana. I grab her shoulders and shake her.
桐生萌香は今の今までここにいただろう。
And Mayuri seems confused.
桐生萌
Apparently,
香だ。
nobody knows who Moeka is. That's a completely drastic change. Daru and Kurisu give me strange looks as well.
聞いたことない。
そんな。
That's disturbingly unfortunate. So we apparently erased Moeka's existence, but that can't be right.
岡部、
We won't accept we killed her.
まさかまた？
またってどういう意味だ。
昨日も似たようなことがあった。私たちの記憶にないことをあんたは覚えていた。なんだっけ？そうそう、リーディングしたいな。
So you remember what happened on the previous experiment, even though you shouldn't technically remember that. Yes, that's the name I gave to this phenomenon, or rather my ability to perceive it. When the world line changes, everyone's memories are reconstructed to match. That's what John Titus said. But somehow I alone retain my memories even after the past changes. I named this power Reading Steiner. Kurisu remembered. To tell the truth, I just made it up out of thin air. But now that Moeka has disappeared, I want to believe this power is real. Well, that was quite a disturbing outcome for such a simple time change. But I believe that is a good place to end the episode, a rather lengthy one, I might add. And when we return, adventurers, we shall, we'll need to take a bit of fresh air. As always, until next we meet.